It was hot and it was humid, and as those clouds pushed in, we had more humidity, but the atmosphere is on the recharge and those models are updating, letting us know we could see a late round of thunderstorm activity by tomorrow night, but it's not looking too severe and should push out of the area pretty quick. Looking at the temperature change over the last 24 hours, going from those 90s down into those 70s, and then we shot right back up into those 90s for a pretty good 25-degree run, and we're cooling off but holding on to a lot of that heat as we're in those upper 80s. Right now 87 in San Angelo, and everybody else joining us in a combination of those 80s right now as we make our way into a pretty pleasant evening, but it's going to be dropping about 8 more, if not 10 more degrees into those lower 70s. 84 in Sterling City, 89 in Junction, looking about 5 degrees across the entire region. Of course, we're still seeing some of those cooler spots. Mason and Brady, they're actually going to be the targets of some of this severe weather as we make our way into tomorrow night after another hot day. Of course, the humidity values are on the recharge as those dew points are around those 60s, unless you're off towards the northwest where you're still holding on to those upper 50s, while the humidity indices, good combination of 60s, 50s, and 40s. And you can kind of see the pattern as we make our way into tonight as you get lower actually in elevation from the Edwards Plateau and those Sierra Madres. Now, the upper level pattern is showing you where a lot of that southwesterly flow is going to continuously pull that moisture up from the Gulf, while we're looking at that long wave trough really make its way across the Dakotas, if not Montana. But by the end of the weekend, as we get closer towards that Memorial Day, we're going to see a lot of that zonal flow across the entire region, and that's going to push us back up into those triple digits. So make sure you put on a lot of sunscreen, but definitely get out there and enjoy it. Don't waste that weekend either. If you missed last weekend, the next one coming up is going to be pretty beautiful. So we're going to watch this moisture really stovepipe right up into Michigan, where they did see a lot of tornadic activity today, while we're still watching it wrap around the Edwards Plateau and take aim near the Panhandle with some of those drier conditions. Now, of course, you heard Haley talking about hurricane season on the return right now, and we're only a couple weeks away. National Hurricane Center about to release that hurricane list as we get closer and closer to some of those warmer temperatures in the ocean, in the Gulf right there. Seeing that tornado watch being issued for parts of Colorado, Nebraska. A lot of storm chasers are in the area. Now you see them erupting across Iowa and that high cloud cover. Again, seeing the subtropical jet really drag against the Sierra Madres, really stripping that moisture out of the atmosphere. Getting a closer look at the Concho Valley, and this is what we're going to talk about as far as that thunderstorm activity tomorrow, as some of those lower storms are going to push through the area. It's really going to start around Eden if I had to dial it in. We're going to watch some of that cloud cover push in by the morning, and then it's going to slowly burn off by the afternoon. That's the recharge and the fuel that we're really looking for by about dinner time. And we're going to see it start around Eden, then it's going to push out of the area, get a little more intense. Some of that cloud cover could return. You really see it take aim at Brady and Menard, then it pushes out of the area. Now watch near El Dorado and San Angelo as it gets pretty extensive, while we're still watching them push off near Mason. Then again, it's going to take aim at Ballinger, make its way down to Eden, head off towards Menard and Sonora. Then it'll finally take aim at Brady again and Mason before it pushes off and things calm down for that pleasant, cool Wednesday morning. Now that's going to be a pretty quick round, but it shouldn't be too severe. But again, make sure you're taking extra special precautions right now to prepare for some of that, because we never want to rule out a lot of hail. Again, Oklahoma City saw a half-mile wide tornado going up about 20,000 feet. So tonight we're going to drop down into those lower 70s, still holding on to a lot of that southerly flow, pushing that humidity in for a misty, if not cloudy start in the morning. Then tomorrow we're making a good run at those triple digits while we're still holding on to a lot of that southerly flow, about 20 miles per hour. So it's going to be a pretty breezy one, but it shouldn't keep anything cool as we make our way closer towards that Memorial Day weekend. We're going to push back up into those triple digits while those lows are still fighting back and forth between those 70s and those 60s. Stay tuned, one more for the break. You're watching KSAN News.